Hi there, listeners, and welcome to the Curious Collective podcast. Conversations designed for the veteran and first responder community to bring awareness to those holistic practices that can help you live your best life. So tap into the wisdom and knowledge of our guests to heal, transform, and live as your true soulful self. Welcome back, everyone, after a 2-month hiatus from the Curious Collective podcast, and now the relaunch of the new version of this podcast, which is designed specifically for the veteran and first responder community. So, way back when I first had an idea to do a podcast, I specifically did want to do it for this community, but I got absorbed in the personal development work that I was doing and sort of aimed my podcast excitedly at the whole sort of conscious community, everyone that was curious and wanted to know things. So it feels really good to have realigned my values and come back to where my passion really lies, which is here within our community. So I'd love to talk into what that looks like. So we're going to have 3 types of guests that will appear over the duration of however long this podcast goes for. And the 3 types of guests are holistic practitioners within the space who were once defense themselves, can be Australian, could be international. So these are people that have moved into perhaps yoga, facilitation, breath work, chiropractics, qigong, acupuncture, all the things. They were once in defense, and then they've, through their own journey, come to now be delivering a modality in some way, shape, or form. So hearing their stories, and we have some amazing people coming up. First and foremost, in that conversation too, we have expedition leaders. We've got breathwork facilitators and qigong, and an amazing plant medicine facilitator as well. So they're a couple of the first guests coming up. With the second group of people is veterans or first responders who have a story to share. So this isn't the like other podcasts where it's the story of your earlier years and your career, and then what you're doing now. This is more like if you've been through adversity of some sort, or perhaps to the depths of darkness and used a holistic modality of some sort to pull yourself through. So through the the mud and the blood and the tears to the greener fields beyond type approach, where something has been the catalyst for change in your life. It could have been a particular yoga class that you went to and you're like, oh man, like I can do this. Or a guest I had earlier in the week was talking into the fact that he went out into the bush, which was what he used to do in the army, but he went out on his own. And that was his catalyst for change. That connection to nature helped with that connection to the inner self for him. It might be a chiropractor that you saw that taught you about the energetics of the spine and made you really question the root causes of chronic pain in the body and how you can shift the energy of that. That's then transformed you into asking more questions, getting more curious, and then following your path, whatever that might be. I have some beautiful friends within the veteran community who I have very deep and engaging conversations with. I'll also be bringing them in this space as guests, just to have pontifications and deep chats about all the things, because a message I really want to drive home, and I drive it home in anything that I do, is we know nothing. All of us, we really know nothing when it comes to what is out there. I mean, yes, the internet, you can Google something in it and you get flooded with information, but who's to say that's the truth? We need to step into the power of I am, into who it is that we are, what we want, what our body needs, and ask lots of questions and get super curious, and then follow the path, not the person. So following the path to what healing looks like to us, because it's not a cookie cutter approach, and it's not something that can be scripted in a 5-point lesson that you go to a center for. It's going to be individualized and different for anyone and everyone, depending on our life experiences, our perceptions, our belief systems, our patterns of behavior, all the things, right? Our energy is what I teach people about. And then the third type of guest that I would love to bring into this space is practitioners and professionals from outside of our community, so outside the veteran first responder community, who value add and provide services that support veterans and first responders directly, and them talking into what that is and how that would be beneficial to the main things that crop up within our space. Say PTSD. Say there's an acupuncturist who's amazing at helping to use acupuncture and Chinese medicine in order to help people shift energy and heal from the side effects and crippling, things that come with PTSD. Sorry, I lost my words there for a second. So we've got practitioners in the field. There is amazing amounts of us. We've got people sharing their stories from the community as well. And we also have external practitioners dropping in to share their wisdom here on the Curious Collective podcast. So I'm very excited about that. Backing up this amazing conversations will be a community eventually that we're going to call the Curious Collective Community, where you can become a member and you actually get specific teachings from the guests that are dropping into this podcast, as well as weekly content to really drive and motivate you to create change in your life and get really curious. And backing all of that will be a holistic health directory where we will have everyone that comes onto the podcast will be on there, plus referrals that are given to me who I've vetted and confirmed are the real deal, who are really amazing and who want to support our community, authentically, with the veterans and first responders at the forefront. So that's really exciting. That's a vision I'm bringing to this world. And I hope to have so many conversations with so many of you around what it is that's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, so that you can help to inspire other people to ask the questions, create the change, and do the things in their life that put them in the driver's seat. So who am I? My name is Kate Chisholm, if you don't know me already, and I don't like labels, but in order to enable people to understand what it is that I do, I call myself an energy and self-connection mentor. So what does that mean is I work with energy, so the energy of the body. What helped me along my journey of self-discovery post-military was to learn about the energy in my body. So that's the chakra system within my body, as well as meridians as well. So I teach and educate around the 7 main chakras in the body. Eventually, I'll be moving into teaching around the energetics of the organs in the body as well. But the self-connection part of it is not only just teaching broad spectrum about the chakras, but individualizing those teachings to how that looks in your body and what that might mean for you, and how you can link patterns of behavior to energetic blockages or imbalances within your system. So it really is an eye-opener when you start to learn that everything is energy, everything is interconnected, and sometimes stuff that we're carrying around isn't even necessarily ours. So we're all up in our head trying to analyze and think about all the things of, what have I done wrong, or how can I fix this, or that was me, when really the magic is just dropping into the body and connecting with the body, connecting with the energy in the body, and asking lots of questions and getting really curious. The other thing that I love to incorporate into my teachings is breath work. So I believe strongly that breath is one of the most powerful medicines that we have. And, we're born with it and we die with it. It's always with us. So I really love to teach people how to use breath to connect to the energy in their body, also to ground, and also to calm and regulate the nervous system, and the central nervous system is just a whole nother bucket of teachings in itself, as how can we, remove any disruptions that we may have picked up along the way from pre-birth till now, and how can we reset ourselves to see what it looks like moving forward, and then from where we go. So being present, moving forward. And I also really love to work with frequency. So this device here that I have on my shirt, if you're watching the video, or if you're listening, I'm wearing a little handheld size device, is called a Healy. And it's a frequency device that harmonizes and balances the body at the cellular level using frequency. So it's got a chip within it, German-made device, that helps to harmonize the bioenergetic field of the body, so the electrical field of the body. But how it works on the cellular level is it actually brings the cells into homeostasis. So if you've got an undercharged cell or excess charge within a cell, it will read using biofeedback what is deficient or what's excessive and bring those cells back into balance. So ultimately looking at it looks at ways to sort of reduce any inflammation in the body, even help to promote really restful sleep, and also help to support people through chronic pain, and by bringing the body back to its natural healing abilities, by, really tapping into what it is that we have overloaded our bodies with, whether that be chemical toxins, overload the nervous system, all the things. We can't take on all the onus of all the things going wrong in our body being 100% ours. We also pick up things from our environment as well. So my main messages as I bring this new podcast to you are: stay curious, ask lots and lots of questions, follow the path, not the person. So if you've been a person in the past that has read lots of self-help, or I call them shelf-help books, and you're like, oh, this is great, all the things, and you're following it word for word, black and white, I have to do this, without following your heart, your intuition, your knowing, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not embodying the practice for yourself. You're not, bringing it into what that actually looks like for you. And I just want people to discover that for themselves, because it's like a whole nother world opens up for you. And I use the analogy of, if you're curious and you're peeping in that door of what this world looks like, holistic health world, trying different things, being open, and you're peeping in and you're curious, just smash that door right off its hinges and step in. Just surrender yourself to what is and just be open. Always, of course, have discernment. There's a fair few charlatans out there, but when you are connected to your own energy, your own knowing, and you're doing the inner work to ground yourself, connect to your own emotions and feelings, to have self-confidence and belief in self, to open your heart, to speak your truth, to see and listen to your own inner wisdom, and to open yourself to the source magic of the world, you will know who is true and who is not. You will know what is the right choice for you. You will know the path you need to take, and you will not just follow the person. So thank you so much for listening to my very first episode of this relaunch. And I look forward to having so many more engaging and amazing conversations with all of you moving forwards. Big love, Katie out.